Hello, my name is Ben Wolkoff, and welcome to another daily anti-fascist video of Inspired Defiance. Today I'm inspired by the $2.1 billion that's being withheld from the Chicago transit system that has already been apportioned for revitalizing a number of transit lines there by a White House who could not care about the people of Chicago any less. Donald Trump knows that the people of Chicago did not vote for him, do not like him, do not want his policies in their cities, do not want federal agents to be able to come and arrest people and pull them out from an apartment complex, put them on the streets, some of them naked, children zip-tied together. They do not want it. And so he is going to use the government shutdown in order to take away funding that has already been apportioned. He's going to use his pocket rescission tool that allows for him to take money away. This is a moment where people are coming to understand that nothing that has been previously decided is going to continue to be decided by the mechanisms of the legislature. Everything is going to go through the executive system. Everything. Not only is money being withheld from projects that have already been funded, we are seeing through the government shutdown that systems of support for the most vulnerable among us are being closed, are being lost. The WIC funding is facing the most imminent shortfall amid this government shutdown. There are over 6 million Americans, many who are mothers and their children, who will not receive the WIC funding that they need in order to survive as a result of the government shutdown. And it doesn't seem to bother Donald Trump. It doesn't seem to bother the executive branch, those who are in the legislature. They are saying the shutdown is more important. It is more important that we score political points. It is more important that we withhold things and tell a story about how it's all about giving health care to illegal aliens, which is nonsense. There are many folks in the government who are also warning against the illegal acts that this White House is employing. The illegal acts to fire whole bunches of people just because the government is shut down and they think that they are going to get away with it. Departments that have huge funding shortfalls because the government is shut down, they think they can just get rid of the people that work there. They do not believe that anyone will hold them to account. They lack the integrity to continue services that are valuable to their constituents. They are in it for themselves, and they are not interested in whatever it is that we might ask of them. But I am asking for you to reopen the government and provide WIC funding and provide funding for projects that have already been funded in Democrat-run cities. I'm asking because it is the right thing to do. It is the kind thing to do. It is the community-focused and constituent-focused thing to do. The White House is also using their power of ownership for the IT infrastructure in the executive branch as well as all of the agencies that fall under it. They have turned on the auto-reply messages for all of the employees that are furloughed and do not have either access to their email or do not have access to the buildings where they normally log in. They have turned on the auto-reply messages to say that it is the Democrats' fault that the shutdown is happening at all. It is propaganda that they have put into policy as well as into infrastructure. They don't care about things like the trains running on time in Chicago, but they do care about who gets the blame for it. Even those that have turned off these auto-reply messages have gone in later to their email system and found that they have been put back onto it. This is a scary, authoritarian overreach of power. Each person that works in one of these agencies is an individual, capable of setting their own communication style, capable of deciding how they want to be seen by others. And this overreach is making it so that these individuals are no longer a part of the system that they have worked so hard to preserve. And even the agencies that are occasionally doing their job now, like the FDA, who just approved a generic abortion pill that will give access to healthcare to millions. And right-wing ideologues are complaining that this is somehow an affront to the values that they voted for, the things that they want to be in policy. They see RFK Jr. doing such great work in making up reasons for autism, but they don't want women to have access to healthcare. And so they are complaining when the agencies are working as they should. This means that they are striving for incompetence. They want these agencies to fail. They want the government to fail. Because it means that as long as things aren't working, they will stay in power. And that is, after all, what this is all about. When RFK Jr. fires a top NIH scientist, he is saying, I don't want expertise. I don't want things to work. I don't want the research. I don't want people to have access to the kinds of healthcare that actually solve problems. I want to maintain power. I want to be in control. As long as I can, as long as you can, speak to that power and say, no, they haven't won yet. They may be able to take away the money. They may be able to put these messages on our auto-replies. They may be able to fire folks who have the expertise to actually run the institutions that we all depend upon. But they haven't won yet. And that's why I'm inspired to speak out today.